This is the Raspberry Pi Lynx build version 2, and this section is talking about getting everything kind of all hooked up with the audio and power and everything. So as you can kind of see, there's some indicators lit up here. This is actually in a test mode. We've got it working for the most part, but what we've done is we've salvaged the original audio board here like I showed removing last time. I took one of those USB mini sound cards, took the case off, desoldered the headphone and mic jack, and then wired up the headphone jacks. Ground goes at the top, then the right channel is the middle, and the left channel is the back. And then if you look really closely here, the ground I just wired to a ground point on the board, which are these big, huge silver squares. And then the left channel goes to the top left of this resistor pad, and then the right channel goes to the bottom left resistor on this pad. The power is hooked up to the top of L21, and then the ground is grounded from the headphone jack kind of below it. There's a ground point there to the Raspberry Pi on pin 39. And the reason why we're grounding to the Pi is because we don't want ground loop noise. If we ground it to our power boost, then we get that. So speaking of power boost, here's the power boost. It's hooked up. I have a power switch wired to the enable pins, and then 5 volts out to the amp. 5 volts and ground go underneath the Pi, and they actually wire to the test points underneath the factory jack here. That's important because this factory jack has a fuse that protects it. So this way, this is fused power. That way, it's safe in case there's any problems here. But I also have hooked up a aftermarket 40mm polycone speaker to replace the aging 30-year-old paper cone. So let's go ahead and look. We have this thing's running. Our power indicator is shining. So we saw that we hooked that up okay. And we need to adjust the font size here. But you can hear that the audio, let's crank it up. It does work. And we'll see if we can get a game to run here. Like I said, this is all this kind of setup and testing. I haven't tuned the software or anything. It's fitting having a Lynx game on a Lynx. That sounds just like a Lynx. So we know all of this stuff is working, which is great. So our next step is kind of fitting all the components here, and then tuning everything the way we want it. But so far, so good.